said, roll over, roll over. So they all rolled over and one fell out.
Snowflake, snowflake, little snowflake, little snowflake falling from the sky. Snowflake, snowflake, little snowflake, falling, 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 falling on my head. Snowflake, snowflake, little snowflake, little snowflake, falling from the sky. Snowflake, snowflake, little snowflake, falling, 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 falling on my nose. Snowflake, snowflake, little snowflake, little snowflake, falling from the sky. Snowflake, snowflake, little snowflake, falling, 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 falling in my hand, falling on my head, falling on my nose, falling in my hand. Snowflake, snowflake, little snowflake.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up,
There were 8 in the bed, and the little one said, roll over, roll over. So they all rolled over and one fell out.
snowflake, snowflake, little snowflake, little snowflake, falling from the sky. Snowflake, snowflake, little snowflake, falling, 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 falling on my head. Snowflake, snowflake, little snowflake, little snowflake, falling from the sky. Snowflake, snowflake, little snowflake, falling, 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 falling on my nose. Snowflake, snowflake, little snowflake, little snowflake, falling from the sky. Snowflake, snowflake, little snowflake, falling, 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 falling in my hand, falling on my head, falling on my nose, falling in my hand. Snowflake, snowflake, little snowflake.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up,
There were 8 in the bed, and the little one said, roll over, roll over. So they all rolled over, and one fell out.
snowflake, snowflake, little snowflake, little snowflake, falling from the sky. Snowflake, snowflake, little snowflake, falling, 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 falling on my head. Snowflake, snowflake, little snowflake, little snowflake, falling from the sky. Snowflake, snowflake, little snowflake, falling, 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 falling on my nose. Snowflake, snowflake, little snow.
Sigeleni Afrika, maluphakanyiswa uphonolwayo, izwa imithandazo yethu. Nkosi sigelela thina, lusapho lwayo, murena buluka sitshaba sa Yesu. Felice d'entrare ma sueñe, usibuluke, si chabasa, Yesu, si chabasa, South Africa, South Africa, and to know Fanon sayeme, lady deep united we shall stand. Let us live and strive for freedom in South Africa.
Mandithathe lithuba loba ndizibulisele kwinkulumbuso nakumalungu ecabinet yenkulumbuso. Ndizibulisele kumemi bonke basembizana nabasempuma koloni ngokubanzi. Ndibulise abantwana abakhoyo apha basempuma koloni, ingakumbi ke abantwana basembizana apho lo mnyhadala uqhubela khona. Siyayazi into ba lo mnyhadala uqhuba ngexesha apho sijongene nokuphathwa gadalala kwabantu abangoomama, abantwana, apho upresident waseMzantsi Afrika ade wanikezela ngeentsuku ezintlanu uba sizinikele bucala ukuzama ukulwa nale meko. Kwathina kulona unyaka ingunyaka apho sijongene khona nobhubhani wesifo esibizwa ngoba ngucorona. Sivile ke into kokuba kubuya i-second wave. Siyafuna ke nentoba sithi kubantu bakuthi mabalungiselele intoba babuyele kundalashe, bingakhange siphele ke esi sifo, kodwa sifuna abantu bathathe imiqathango esiyinikiweyo ngabezempilo. Sifuna ke ukuthi egameni labantu baseMbizana, njengangoko sisiya kwi-festive season, sifuna abantu baziphathe kakuhle, bajongane nalo mcelimngeni esijongene nawo. Abantwana xa sivuyisana nabo, abantwana emakhaya, siyacela intoba oomalume, ootata, abazali bonke abakhoyo bakwazi into kokuba abantwana babaphathe kakuhle kuba balikamva lethu singuMzantsi Afrika. Ngaloo mazwi ke ndifuna ukuthi wonke umuntu okhoyo kulo mnyhadala wamkelekile. Enkosi.
Honorable Premier, Mr. Oscar Mabuyane, members of the Executive Council, members of the Provincial Legislature, leadership of provincial and local government, traditional leaders, civil society leadership, organizations in the social sector, fellow South Africans, invited guests. Special greetings to the children of our country and the province. Program Director, let me express my delight in participating in this important engagement of commemoration of International Children's Day and the celebration of the 30th anniversary of African Charter on Rights and the Welfare of a Child. We convene this Provincial Children's Day under the theme, Our Voices, the Light of Our Future. Honorable Premier, we cannot discuss or commemorate Children's Day without reflecting on the family structures which children grow up in and ultimately assimilate. This therefore means we must look very closely at the issue of the state of families and their impact on children. Program Director, the dysfunctionality of families remains central and a severe reality in the manifestation of social ills in our society. In the main, this is attributed to the absence of fathers, poor parenting, abuse and neglect by families, child-headed families, teenage pregnancy, and substance abuse by family members. This, of course, is a product of the apartheid architecture that forced black families to live apart. Men had to travel long distances to find work in the mines and on farms as cheap laborers. This migrant labor system saw men leaving their wives and children for months. The economic circumstances also pushed women to seek employment in towns and domestic workers. As a result, children were often left behind and taken care of by grandparents or extended families, mostly headed by females. The recent report by Statistics South Africa highlights that there has been an increase in the number of children who grow up with absent fathers, and there has also been a significant increase in the number of households that are child-headed. The absence of strong family structures in South Africa has led to a myriad of social ills, and all too often women and children bear the brunt. In part, our annual 16 Days of Activism for No Violence Against Women and Children campaign which was launched a few days ago, aims to mobilize all sectors of society to put an end to the cycle of violence against women, children, and people with disabilities. We must mobilize and educate society against backward practices such as forced marriages, ukutwala, that infringe on the rights of children. Honorable Premier, the message of the ANC-led government has been consistent and coherent. We must promote unity and social cohesion. We must also enhance positive values and build stronger families and communities to strengthen the social fabric of society. We say this because we understand the importance of a strong family and the unity in driving the prosperous nation we envisage. Ladies and gentlemen, my task today was to give the purpose of the day, but I felt it is important to give this background. The objectives of this Provincial Children's Day is to better inform communities and organizations on challenges faced by all children, including refugee children, during and beyond COVID-19 pandemic in our province. We wish for the event to raise awareness on the specific issue of children's rights and the empowerment of the boy and girl child and refugee children. Ongoing campaigns and provision of information and knowledge regarding proposed solutions in addressing these challenges. More importantly, today's engagement must be a platform for us to listen to our children and the day-to-day challenges they face and bridge the gap between the parents and the children. We are also here to raise awareness against the abuse of children in our country and our province. In conclusion, let me end by quoting former President Nelson Mandela when he said, I quote, "One of the ways we can build a better future for our children is by empowering them through allowing them to speak up for themselves. Of course, we as adults have to guide them and to take ultimate responsibility, but that is something quite different from patronizing them. The rights of children must importantly include the right to be themselves and to talk for themselves," close quote. Colleagues, I hope you have a fruitful engagement that will produce long-lasting solutions to the challenges that we face as it relates to children's rights. I thank you all.
Thank you very much for inviting us as the Department of Social Development. I'm David Chabalala, the Director in the Office on the Rights of the Child. I'm responsible for child rights advocacy, and we're really so excited that the Eastern Cape has taken efforts in celebrating the lives of children. And because I've been in the process for quite a while, I want to indicate that this National Children's Day dates back to when we started ratifying the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child back in 1995. Let me also acknowledge the leadership of the Eastern Cape Province. Must also acknowledge my colleagues. More importantly, let me also greet the children of the Eastern Cape, and let me start by indicating that I'm here to share with everybody, more importantly children of this country, that the 29th of November this year we will be turning 30th, meaning the African Union had developed what we call back then in 1990, the African Charter on the Rights and Welfare of the Child. So this year on the 29th of November, it's turning 30 years. And we are so excited, and we are joining all member states within the African Union to celebrate this important day, because the African Charter is one of those instruments internationally and continentally that ensures the protection and promotion of children's rights in our continent. And I must indicate that I think going backward, not many people are aware that after having gotten out of the apartheid system, our first democratically elected president, the late Tata Mandela, leading that first democratic dispensation or the administration back then in 1994, he spearheaded, among other many international and continental instruments to be ratified. Because of the love of children, we all know that he had a very special passion for children. He prioritized the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child to be ratified by South Africa, and that is symbolic enough to say he had a very special love for children in our country. And of course, we've got legacies that we are pursuing in his name, which of course I'll talk to as I proceed. So that was in 1995, and subsequent to the ratification of that United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child, South Africa in 2000, that was on the 7th of January, ratified what we call the African Charter on the Rights and Welfare of the Child. And we are so excited that we are part of this African continent. And once again, I think the people of South Africa may be aware that we are proudly also standing up here to indicate that our Honorable President Utata Cyril Ramaphosa is the chairperson of the African Union this term. So it's quite an interesting and quite an important role that he's playing. So what is happening in celebrating this day, or the 30th anniversary of the African Charter? We need to go backward a little bit to indicate that as a member state, like any other member state, we are required, it's an obligation that we report to the AU periodically. So our first report was submitted, and I must also indicate that we are one of the 40 countries that has reported. I mean, in terms of the reports or the indication that we got from the AU Secretariat, we have been made to understand that there are other countries that so far they have not yet ratified. Some have not yet even submitted a report ever since they've ratified. So we are amongst the 40 countries that have reported to the AU. And our next report will be due in 2022. We are busy consolidating the report. As I've said, we are an office on the rights of the child that is more of a coordination office that is within the Department of Social Development. We are coordinating other departments. So we are very glad that we will definitely meet the target of submitting in 2020. One important thing that has been highlighted, or amongst the actions that must be taken in celebrating the African Charter on the Rights and Welfare of the Child, is that of ensuring that we enhance or strengthen the participation of children on matters affecting them. As South Africa, we've gone a long way. Like I've said initially, we are, among other processes or efforts in ensuring that children's voices are taken care of. We have embarked, or we have initiated a process, a platform that we call Nelson Mandela Children's Parliament. We have started this process many years ago, and we are strengthening that, and we have developed what we call the Child Participation Framework. The Nelson Mandela Children's Parliament, it's where children meet from all the provinces, and they debate and discuss issues that are pertinent in their lives. And those issues are taken to the duty bearers, I mean, in this case, government, and of course, organs of civil society. And of course, we are busy strengthening. Starting from this year, we are going to be partnering with National Assembly, of course, jointly with NCOP, National Council of Provinces. So in so doing, we are institutionalizing child participation in South Africa, wherein children will be participating even from the which we are hopeful it will happen before the State of the Nation's address that is going to be led by the President of this Republic. So we are very excited about child participation, and we have observed that it's one of the the requirements within in celebrating the African Charter on the Rights and Welfare of the Children. But in the midst of all these good things, we are also emphasizing our concerns. We are condemning the bad things that are done against our children. We are aware that our children are being killed. Some are being raped, especially the girl child. And in the Eastern Cape, we are aware that there are areas that there is this traditional custom that is called ukutwala, the marriage of the young girls, or by force. That is illegal, and we've done many advocacy campaigns there, especially in the areas of Lusukisiki. We have observed when we were commemorating the Day of the African Child last year, we even went down to Lusukisiki. There are improvements because it's been years that we've been doing these campaigns. There are improvements. We are working with traditional authorities there. We are working with civil society, organs of government departments. So we are doing very well. In essence, in conclusion, I just want to say we thank the leadership, the government of the Eastern Cape for really hosting this National Children's Day. And once again, we are saying there's a lot to be done in South Africa, and we've got an instrument that is being developed by virtue of us having ratified the African Charter on the Rights of the Child and the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child. That is the National Plan of Action for Children. And that has been approved by Cabinet on the 21st of October this year. We are in the process of ensuring that provinces are also customizing their plans of action in line with what we've got at national. And of course, we are there to support, and we also be working very closely with children, which has not been a tradition in this country. But in South Africa, we are proudly saying anything that affects children of South Africa will be involved. Thank you very much. Enjoy the celebration of the day, and of course, looking forward that the 29th also, in whatever things that you'll be doing, in your mind, you must be celebrating the African Charter on the Rights and Welfare of the Child. Thank you very much.
Hello everyone, my name is Mamgele Jack and I'm the Provincial Child Ambassador for the Eastern Cape. And I'm here to talk about how lockdown and COVID-19 has affected children. Personally, COVID-19 has affected my education because we spent many months without going to school. So we had to attend virtual classes and we had to attend WhatsApp classes. That method of teaching and that method of receiving your education and school syllabus wasn't as effective as the face-to-face contact teaching for some children. And not to mention the kids who live in rural areas who are without internet connections and proper stationery, so they couldn't continue their studying whilst the lockdown was still intact. They had to continue and stay at home and do nothing for that entire time period. And some kids also rely on the school nutrition program to get their daily nutritional needs. And the COVID-19 lockdown also affected our mental health because many children lost loved ones and relatives during the period because of the pandemic and other situations. And their parents also lost their jobs, which means that no source of income was available for the house, meaning that many kids had to change their lifestyle and standard of living, and a lot of things were just not going well. And being stuck in the same place for the same period of time, for a long period of time, can cause your mind to be different because you're staring at the same walls, being in the same place, breathing the same air for the entire time. So they can play tricks on your mind because the mind and your body needs that breath of fresh air. It needs that ocean breeze through it so that you can feel more revitalized and well. And I just want to say that if you survive this year, if you got through this year with your mental health intact, with your physical health intact, with you being happy, it's an achievement. It's a massive achievement. And you shouldn't wish for more. You shouldn't hope to get means that God has blessed you with happiness for the entire year. And I just want to round it off by saying Happy Children's Day to the kids. And happy good exams to those who are still writing exams and I hope God blesses us all and keeps us for the festive season. And just the year just continues to get better and it doesn't worsen from here.
Program Director, allow me to greet the Premier of the province, Usokaya, Ubawo Mabuyani, and everybody by saying all protocol is observed. Equally, I salute the provincial government as led by the Office of the Premier in commemorating the Children's Day under the theme, Voices of the Children are the Future. With the difficulties presented by the COVID-19 situation, it is through their passion and wisdom that irrespective of the situation, we can still make our voices to be heard. It is not only an honor for me, but a privilege to address this august event of the 30th anniversary of the African Children's Charter as the convener of the Eastern Cape Men's Movement, an organization that is an umbrella to a number of men's organizations that was formed barely 5 months ago. The Eastern Cape Men's Movement could not have succeeded in what it has done, including being part of the second National Men's Parliament, had it not been the able assistance from the Office of the Premier, especially the Office on the Rights of Children. It was on the 2nd of September this year that we met all representatives of the member organizations for the first time through the effort and support of that office, and we could not even believe it when the head of department and the general manager were both present on the day. Njengamathola maduna kweliphondo sithi makwande, and the efforts bestowed on us will not go to waste. As the Eastern Cape Men's Movement and men of this province, known as Iphondo Lengqwele in particular, we have taken a firm position to make the Children's Charter a central component of all our programs designed to influence men to be part of the movement. We recognize that in Africa, your child is my child, and it takes a village to raise a child. We owe our existence to the men who raised us in that spirit. We were the ones referred to as the future. As boy children, we were raised on a privilege of the dreaded oppression commonly known as patriarchy. That gave us undeserved advantages in leadership in public and private institutions as well as at home. Hence, some of us were given names such as Ndodomzi, Bangumzi, and so on and so forth. As the Eastern Cape Men's Movement, we have undertaken to fight such indoctrination not only to protect the girl child, but to empower the boy child on how to respect and treat the girl children, especially the empowered girl child, as his sister, if not his equal. We salute those who took time to research and write the African Children's Charter, and we promise to guard it with all that we have. We call upon all men to act and speak in a manner that befits a role model for goodwill to all our children. We call upon all men in the Eastern Cape to form men's circles in their immediate communities, from which they will have sessions to engage the boy child and leave a legacy of communicating issues of common interest. In line with today's theme, Voices of Children are the future. It is not our future, it is their future. Let us allow them to give us a picture of the future they desire, and for us to build its foundation. May everyone here today spread the message that our generation inherited Africa that took care of her children, and we will pass the same inheritance to the future so that Africa can rise again. I thank you.
Program directors, acting MEC for social development and all MECs present, mayors of our municipalities, traditional leaders, religious leadership, the NGOs responsible for children, government officials, our special guest of honor for today, the children of our province who are the future of our nation. Good morning to you all. I'm humbled to join you today to celebrate Children's Day. This is a special day that we have set aside for you, the children of our province, to shine the spotlight on issues that concern your rights and welfare. There are two great leaders who are no longer with us, but who left us with profound words in relation to children's. And today I would like to share their words with all the children of our province. The first great leader, the late Mr. Kofi Annan. He was born in Ghana and he held a very important position of Secretary General of United Nations, which is a global body for peace and social justice. He once said, "There is no trust more sacred than the one the world holds with children. There is no duty more important than ensuring that children's rights are respected, that their welfare is protected, that their lives are free from fear, and that they can grow up in peace," close quote. The second leader is the late ANC President, Utata Oliver Reginald Tambo. He was born in Mbizana here in our province. He fought all his life to free us from apartheid, a brutal regime that separated our people based on the color of their skins, giving better opportunities and better services to one racial group over the other racial groups. O.R. Tambo once said, and I quote, "The children of any nation are its future. A country a movement, a person that does not value its youth and children does not deserve its future, close quote. We meet here today under the theme, Our Voices, the Light of Our Future, to affirm the words that were spoken by these truly great leaders. There are a number of policies that we have in place to serve you, the children of our country. These include the Child-Friendly Communities Framework, which seeks to provide guidance and action areas for local government in addressing children's rights. Through this framework, we aim to increase and strengthen your participation in your own communities and raise awareness of children's rights and ensure municipalities take carefully consideration of children's rights in all municipality goals, policies, strategies, and programs. For instance, there should be a safe playgrounds in your communities with sports facilities for various sporting codes such as swimming, tennis, netball, and others that children enjoy to play. We also have policies that are meant to ensure your proper development and care. We want you to grow in safe communities. We want you to learn in adequate resourced schools and acquire knowledge that would make you a productive citizen when you are old. Education is the most important gift of life we are providing you. Everything in your life hinges on you getting an education so that you can have a better life. When you are educated, there are plenty of opportunities for you in the world. So we want you to take your books seriously, to listen to your teachers at all times, and to be disciplined at school. We are investing resources to ensure that many of you who stay far from schools are transported to schools and that you are served nutritious meals every day you are at school. We have also removed the burden of school fees from parents who are in financial difficulty, as many of our schools are no-fee paying schools. We are improving the quality of infrastructure in many of our rural schools, ensuring that they have safe toilets and clean drinkable water. We are paying particular attention to support learners with special needs. Learners at St. Thomas School for Deafs in Statarim in Amatole District Municipality received training on the new sign language, especially COVID-related signs. This initiative will also enhance the deaf learners' access to education. We also want to assure you today that protecting you from all forms of child abuse, neglect, exploitation, and violence is a top priority for us. My heart is very sore as I speak to you today because 5 children were brutally killed with their mother in Dabekweni village, Ekhoga. These are things we want to end in our society so that you can grow freely, not worried about your safety. As we launch the 16 days of activism against women and children abuse this week, we emphasize the need for the protection of children. We want you to tell someone you can trust, be it your teacher or your parents, when someone does things that are wrong to you. The police will take that person away so that they do not harm you ever again. As I conclude, I wish to urge you to continue wearing your mask, washing your hands, and keeping social distancing at schools, homes, and when you are out shopping with your parents. COVID-19 is still with us and is killing many of our people, our friends. As the future of this country, you have a responsibility to spread the word of good behavior to your friends so that we can defeat this virus and get back to our normal lives. I'm certain you all miss going out with your friends to the malls to watch movies and to take bath at the beach. We can go back to doing those wonderful things if we all play our part to stop the spread of the virus. Schools will close soon. I wish you a safe and a joyous festive season. Take care of yourselves and come back healthy next year. I love you dearly.
Greetings to the program director of the day, the Honorable Premier Oscar Mabuyane, all the MECs that are present, to the mayors, even who hosting Mayor Umama Fumbata, and all the mayors present in this august event. Siyabulela kakhulu kuthiwa apha mandizokwenza ilizwi lombulelo that abantwana yi-future ye-country. So to have these programs ezingenelela njengoba besilontsha i-16 days of activism, nokokuba sike sazila iinsuku ezine sizilela ekutheni siqinisekise ukuthi i-COVID-19 amaxhoba we-COVID-19 athi asandulela namaxhoba we-GBV namaxhoba wokubulawa komama so nabantwana. So sithi ke le event i-eye opener ukuthi sonke baseMzantsi Afrika ukuthi masiqiniseke ukuthi abantwana i-future ye-country mabahlale bephephile nokokuba banamalungelo, siwazi amalungelo wabo. Kubalulekile ke ekugqibeleni kosuku okokuba siyazi uba as this generation siyabakhuthaza kakhulu, siyabaprotecta abantwana, siyabathanda and siqinisekise ukuthi bahlala bekhuselekile, siyabanakekela. So ke bendithi mandizodlulisa ilizwi lombulelo kwizithethi zonke ezithe zalenza olusuku la impumelelo, the organizers, everybody. Kodwa xa ndigqibelisa mphathi nkulu, ndifuna ukuyaleza okokuba njengoba siku-festive season thina njenge-Alfrenzo we are prone to disasters. So sicela kuqala abantu bayinake imozulu, bayijonge imozulu so that bahlale kwiindawo ekufanele bahlale kuzo, bangaweli imilambo igcwele kungenzeki izinto ezakwenza zengeze i-disasters esibanazo. Ziqinisekile ke msasazi enye yezinto ukuthi abaqhubi njengoba abantu bazabe bebuya eGoli baqhube ngokunakekela ukwenzela ukuthi ingozi zenzela zehle. Okugqibela sinalo umcelimngeni we-coronavirus ye-COVID-19. Sicela abantu abazawusuka eGoli sizawubamkela apha e-Alfrenzo ngeemaski, sibamkele eziteksini bafake imaski, baqiniseke ukuthi i-lockdown regulations siyazilandela, i-social distancing, ezivenkileni singagcwali kakhulu, basincedise noosomashishini ukwenzela ukuthi sinciphise ukwanda kwesi sifo kwesi kule second wave sisengxakini kakhulu. Ndiyafuna ukuthi ebantwini baseMzantsi Afrika e-Alfrenzo okungakumbi e-Eastern Cape ndibanqwenelela i-Christmas emiyoli nenye ezele ngamathamsanqa. Enkosi kakhulu.